It's on your page.
You know, here next week, I got my fragrances.
Okay.
My fragrances, my candles, and burning waxes and oils and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I got to get you. We got to go to the show Thursday. Juke House.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So this Thursday.
Yeah.
I should be there.
All right.
Okay.
I'll shoot you.
Please do. Nah, Tyrone Gathers.
All right. I'll let you know.
Okay.
You gotta go too.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. It's Tuesday, 7:00 p.m. Source of the Inkwell on Kansas City's global community radio station, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. I'm your host, Tyrone Gathers Jr., and I'm joined by my guest co-host, Miss Camila Muhammad.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, she jumped in the inkwell and got comfortable, so we had to get her back up in here. This broadcast is being streamed a number of ways. If you want to listen in, you can go to kuaw.org and just push the button. It'll pop right up. Or go to TuneIn on your mobile app and type in KUAW, and we'll pop right up as well. If you want to see us in the studio, you can go to KUAW-LPFM 98.5 on Facebook. It's a Facebook Live video going on right now, as well as YouTube. We are now on YouTube. So to go to YouTube, type in KUAW, and we'll pop right up. Now, KUAW Radio, it will pop right up. And I know you all like watching this on the Facebook Live app, but YouTube is where it's at as well. The more and more people watch KUAW videos on YouTube, the more and more YouTube would want to put ads up, and that's like money in our pocket. So we've been talking about entrepreneurship for the past like couple months. Let's support another entrepreneur entity, and that is KUAW. If you want to email us, go to kuaw95@gmail.com. If you want to call in, please call us at 816-599-6893. I really hope to get some phone calls from you all. Before I get started, I do want to hit off with one little disclaimer. I know you saw a preview video that I did probably on Sunday in regards to the tomfoolery incident, as well as you saw a promo of some guests that will be here. Well, due to certain legal ramifications, our guests could not be present. So out of respect for our guests, we're going to let them handle their business. But at the same time, we're still going to handle ours and discuss what's been going on out of support for our guests. So although they're not here physically, we're still going to support our brothers and sisters that couldn't make it with this broadcast. So I'm ready to dive into the ink full on.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So we might have to do a part 2 about this. But I know we typically talk about entrepreneurship,
right?
Well, for this road trip from vacation,
right?
So right now we're gonna take the car and just pull over to a rest stop, make a little detour, and talk about something that just popped off a little bit. Just recently, we've been seeing individuals hop on their cell phones and make some of the most ridiculous complaints to the police.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one. You say one. We're gonna play ping pong.
It's
with
a lie.
Yeah, I know, right? So first one that comes to mind is the sister that was calling about the barbecue. I'm sorry, that's the woman that was calling about
I was
the
going to say that one too.
Yeah. Okay, the woman that was calling about the barbecue.
There was one where a young black male had the police called on him for, I believe, a lemonade stand.
Yeah. And the woman did this here. I'm like, well, hold on.
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's like,
I'm like, are we being punked? And then I look at the brother who was wearing at his apartment complex wearing socks at the pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a whole lie.
The coupons and all that stuff.
It's ridiculous.
And like I know we all deal with things in our own kind of way.
Right.
We've given the people names like BBQ Becky and Permit Patty and Coupon Carl.
Right.
But I mean, I don't think we should laugh at that.
No. I mean, like I said, it's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
If you really take the time and just think about every instance and what really happened, what was the reasoning behind it.
Right.
And let's just be frank. And I don't, I'm not one to jump on the race card, but the reality is that the reason that, they felt like they could do that and get away with it is because of race in America.
Right. Power and privilege.
Right.
And power and privilege is the formula for racism.
Right.
I mean, the fact that someone's not doing something that you like, or you feel someone's not there,
Right.
what are you going to do? I'm going to go release the hound. See, let me tell you what I saw, because I've noticed that throughout the entire summer, I've been posting things on Facebook in regards to civil, rights, and I've noticed that the more and more I post about upholding the rights of people, the more and more individuals who I thought I was cool with would kind of leave me alone.
Of course.
And I'm like, of course, yeah, but like, I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut.
Right.
But see, when I see people call the police on black people doing just normal everyday things, it reminds me of when that paramilitary group, the KKK, was released on black sharecroppers who were trying to start their own families. It's like, I mean, and like when I saw that, I'm like, it goes deeper than that.
It goes way
deeper
and like
than... and if what we're saying on here is bothering you, keep in mind that the thoughts of the Source of the Inkwell, the opinions of the Source of the Inkwell, this broadcast does not reflect the thoughts and views and opinions of KUAW Radio. However, I feel whenever I would see like someone on the phone calling the police on someone, I thought about those night raids. I mean, I didn't feel right. Yeah. I felt very uncomfortable.
But no one should feel right. And everyone should feel uncomfortable if you're in your right mind. If you believe in freedom, justice, and equality, then no one should feel right by reading what the things that's been going on, nor seeing the things that's been going on. You shouldn't. That should make your heart just feel some type of way.
It does. I mean, it makes me feel. You got the unsafe factor. Like it's like, I look at where I work,
right? And
today, when I was at work, I felt a certain kind of way,
right,
based on some comments that were made. I'm like, man, this is a deep-rooted issue. I mean, it's like people say that, oh, we came a long way. No, I mean, you don't come a long way from cleaning your house if you just sweep the dirt up under the rug. The dirt eventually piles up and resurfaces again.
Of course,
that's what happened. And I'll tell you another reason why I don't think this thing is funny. Remember back in the day when you would laugh at someone's misfortune and your parents or your spiritual leader say, well, it's not funny unless it happens to you?
Right.
Well, what you're seeing on the news with the police being called for very trivial reasons is happening in your own backyard. It's happening to us.
Right here in Kansas City.
Right here in Kansas City. Right here in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just dive into the issue. Because I mean,
it's been all on Facebook.
Yeah, it's all on. Yeah. So like, out of respect for our guests, we're gonna be respectful to the situation. Oh, okay. We need to turn the camera so we can see her on Facebook. We can't see Miss Camila Muhammad on the.
I'm trying to move it.
Oh, no, it's all right. It's all good. Okay, it's been on Facebook that there's been some incidents going on at Tom Foolery's restaurant in Kansas City,
and I happen to
Plaza.
like Tom. I mean, it's not the best restaurant, but I've never had an issue. So when I hear things like this, I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. But I can see it.
Right.
It makes sense.
And I like what you said, because you said, you know what? Yeah, it's cool. Wait a minute. It got my attention. It makes sense. Right. Versus, oh, no, y'all just tripping.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and we'll get to that part momentarily. But see, when you think of the Country Club Plaza, I'm gonna give you all a little history lesson.
Oh, break it down. Come on now.
See, the Country Club Plaza was created by J.C. Nichols. J.C. Nichols was a real estate magnate. You know what I said was? He's no longer with us. However, his rhetoric was very racial. He didn't like dark-skinned people. He did not.
Not at all.
As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the housing contracts right now, you'll still see some remnants of some of the things that he's put in there. He's the one that's responsible for the truth divide. The truth divide, yeah. Right. Like, yes, for example, if I take this house and put it on this side, on the west side of Troost, and take the same exact house and put it on the east side of Troost, this would be a whole lot cheaper because you're paying for exclusivity. You're paying for, let me get away from those people. So on top of that, he decides to construct the plaza. The plaza is the first mall in the United States. Okay. And he goes to and he takes this artwork that he sees from Seville, Spain, which is our sister city, and replicates that artwork all throughout the plaza. Now, I'm going to say something's going to make J.C. Nichols roll over in his grave. For you to not like black folks so much, you took so much Afrocentric, so much Afrocentric artwork and culture and put it in the crown jewel of Kansas City that it's like, wow. if you knew the truth, you'd see that. For example, all those geometric shapes, that's Moorish artwork. Anyone tell you that. Matter of fact, the same statue you see in Spain, see here, you see in Spain, the Spaniards will tell you, oh, that's from the Moors. From the Moors. That's Borano right there. It's no Moors. So with me saying that, you would think that the fact that this man made this like this, that we should feel welcome as Black folks there. But we're not. We're not. So let's dig in to what's been going on at tomfoolery. Let's talk about your fondest memory of tomfoolery before you heard about the situations on Facebook, and then I tell you mine and we'll jump right into
fondest memory. I mean, I can't. Like I said, I've never had an issue. Mm-hmm. It used to be my little, go-to spot because they stayed open late. Got the outdoor patio. Just things like that. Probably some months back, I went with a friend and we were just, eating and having conversation. Service was good, wasn't an issue with the service either. So, and even when we walked in, there wasn't an issue. So again, when I hear the things that's happening or that has happened, I'm just like, wow, but I believe it. Mm-hmm. Given the area that it's in, mm-hmm. I do believe it.
Oh yeah. And my fondest memory goes back to when we were in undergrad at Missouri Western. Mm-hmm. I remember meeting some of my older, I won't say we weren't in class, some of the older students that I used to hang out with there, and seeing all these educated Black professionals in tomfooleries, whether they were associated with Greek fraternal organizations or whether they were just there just hanging out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, this is nice.
Right.
But then I started noticing a shift when the plaza started noticing that a lot of us were coming on there. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing people got to realize is racism does exist.
It does. It's not hidden.
No.
It's in broad daylight.
People
need to stop saying, well, we've come a long way. You have to think about what is a long way, like you said, especially when you think about how long ago the Emancipation Proclamation was, or even how long ago Jim Crow was and Reconstruction. So we've come a long way.
Let me ask you a question.
But we've gotten worse.
Let me ask you a question. You ever throw a snowball uphill?
No.
Okay. Remember on the cartoons when something is rolling down
and just
it gets bigger and bigger and bigger?
Mm-hmm.
When someone asks me, what does race relations look like now in this country? I see a little cartoon kid throwing a snowball uphill. Oh, it went away. It went a ways up that hill. But what happened? It stopped, it settled, and it started coming back. Come back down. Yeah. We have a caller. So while we're screening that call, we're going to keep talking about some things. They still can't hear you.
They still can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
I can hear me.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Am I too? Maybe I'm just too soft spoken.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. So caller, you just dropped off. Oh, there you are. I'm calling right back. Let's see who we got here.
Maybe I should change to this mic.
I can hear you perfectly, but we'll switch you over. Yes. Oh, someone's calling and saying they can't see Miss Muhammad. Oh, okay. We'll move the camera over. Okay, there we go. We got that taken care of. Oh. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Okay. All right, there she is. Okay. Yeah, we have a couple cameras going on. All right, so
I'm so camera shy.
Oh, that's all right. Now, there's been an issue with Tom Foolish Restaurant in regards to the management.
Right.
There's a particular manager who has been very aggressive and very outspoken with his behavior. If you look at a couple of the videos that are out there on Facebook Live, you'll actually see this man's behavior.
I saw it. I was out. Yeah.
Now, this is not like some stuff that's been, well, it's been brewing for a while, but all the events that we're going to discuss has been going on within the course of a few days. Mm-hmm. The first incident in regards that we were going to discuss happened on Thursday evening.
Okay.
We have a young lady sitting down at a table wanting to place an order. You remember what happened?
That's the video that I saw, right? And she stated that I guess given the time of day or night that it was, they told her that she needed to have a credit card on file.
Right. And she inquired about the policy.
Right.
And really, the dialogue was very professional.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was upset, it was still very professional.
Yeah. She even told them that she wasn't using a card. She was going to be paying with cash. She could go ahead and pay now,
Yeah. Well, initially, I remember her stating the policy, and he was telling her the policy. And she, okay, well, how about what time does your restaurant close? He said 1 o'clock. She asked again. He kept saying 1 o'clock, and then he ended up saying the last call was at 2:30. She said, well, you said 1 o'clock. So it's kind of like yeah. And then I guess when he got caught, he got upset.
Mm-hmm.
Said she don't need to be there, and at the same time, she's like, well, why is this going on like this? I was just trying to figure out how the policy was going to go. I mean, the whole time, the young lady was very professional. And this manager is going off, snatching the menu from her, cursing at her, saying, I don't need this blank. I'm sitting up here like, wow. I mean, and the whole time, sitting up here calm as calm can be. And she's and the thing I like, she said, I'm gonna still keep this playing. She kept recording, and the manager came up to her very, very abruptly. As close as I am to Miss Camila, I think that male was that close to that woman, to that young woman.
Yeah, he was.
And I mean, was very aggressive, shouting and yelling, putting her out, and saying, this is my establishment. I'm like, dude, you're just a manager. He's pretty much saying he can refuse service. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, the way he talked to her was not professional. And then I believe there's some other video of his behavior further outside, cursing and using profanity towards her.
Oh, yeah, he called her out of her name.
Yes. Yeah. Very inappropriate.
Yeah.
But this is his place.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I looked at that and I'm like, man, is this really happening? So then I'm looking at the video and I said, that guy looked familiar, because I did the time in my head on that Friday. It was my class reunion, and during our class reunion, we had used a room up there, and I mean, it was beautiful to see all my brothers and sisters I went to high school with. All of them looked good, all of them looked nice, and we're up there, celebrating each other. And I noticed that the staff there act like they had an issue. Now, my issue is not as deep as the young lady in the first video. However, my classmates have an issue that's somewhat similar as well. But mine, I get up and I go to the restroom up on that second floor. They got that one stall. I walked in and I saw a woman's phone in the toilet. I grabbed the phone and I walked out and I asked the bartender, I said, excuse me, ma'am. The bartender stops, does this, and looks me up and down. I said, okay, I see I need to talk to someone else. Because she was very disrespectful. And I looked around and said, did anyone lose their phone? And the young lady rose her hand and said, oh yeah, thank you, sir. I really appreciate you. I use the restroom, leave out. I noticed the more and more class members start coming in, the more and more the staff started getting uncomfortable. And I want to put a pin in that for later on. And I noticed that this bartender, I mean, she was visibly upset dealing with our group. I could tell. I mean, she was looking out the window and she'd be pointing and all this kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, watch. She's going to be Patio Pam. And sure enough, the police pulls up and he was security.
So they called the police?
No.
He was security there with you guys. Okay.
And they actually sent the police out. And the police officer said, look, y'all, he said, I'm not tripping. It's their policy. We're good. I said, well, I appreciate you. So fast forward, the situation happened. I believe the same manager was going off on some coworkers, and a couple of my classmates didn't like that, and they said, "No, that's not cool. That's not cool." And some tomfoolery workers were still snapping back and starting arguments. And I saw them. One of the waiters came out and said, "Yeah, they're being put out." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, I guess." And he kind of looked, and I said, "Why?" And I'm really sorry. I said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "Well, some people got into it, and your people weren't even wrong." And when he said that, my whole high off of being in that class reunion just tanked. And I just sat there, and I just started watching. I saw the two ladies come out, and I looked and explained what happened. They said, "Yeah, we saw this management yelling at staff, and we didn't think
doing it in the open, right?
Yeah, okay. We didn't think it was cool, and then we spoke about it. We got put out."
Wow.
And then when they were saying that, the employee was like, and the cop that was there, bless his heart, he was cool too. He was like, yeah, you can tell on his face, this is a mess. So the next day I ended up calling and I said, I need to speak to the manager. Same manager got on the phone. I told him who I was. I explained to him, we were there yesterday, and I said, I need to know from you what happened. He said, well, the two young ladies called my employee an F and B word.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. I said, okay.
So he just making things.
Yeah. I hung up. I said, okay, thank you. Because see, I knew, like, one of the young ladies I pretty much grew up with.
Right.
And then the other young lady, I'm like, no. And plus, when I saw the tomfoolery staff already confirmed that it wasn't them, and he lied, that was an issue. So I'm like, it's something up with this guy. I'm like, what's up with this guy? I mean, because I'm connecting the dots.
Right.
Now, did you see the other issue?
There's a whole lot of issues within what you just told.
No. I mean, the same guy. It was it's another video with this guy.
No, I've only saw just that one
of
the young lady that
it's another one.
Posted it.
Yeah,
but I've heard since then, just based off of the comments that I was reading from her video, that's not his first, rodeo.
Right.
He's done this a few times.
Yeah.
But I guess the concern that I have is, and it's not even a concern, it's just a question, what is going to be done?
Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Now, there was another young lady who had the same issue. She's sitting down with the police officer on the video. Police is cool. They sitting there, like this. And then the manager's behind them. You can tell they're getting frustrated with this guy. And then the other video shows the same man just snapping at this young lady. I'm like, they're not coming at you in a threatening manner, but you're like, yeah, I can refuse service. This is my place, my establishment. Mine. I'm like, whoa, what's up with this temper tantrum stuff? I'm noticing that the more and more racist acts that I'm seeing, the person that is performing the racial acts is throwing these juvenile temper tantrums.
Right.
I'm assuming it's a trickle-down effect. But I'm noticing this. And like, wow. So fast forward, because I want to, I don't want to put too much on it, because I want to talk about some what we're going to do.
Right.
Turns out that I know you know what happened to the manager.
Yes.
Okay.
He's no longer
there. Now, let me ask this question. If a situation takes place where someone causes harm and damage, if they're removed from the situation, does that fix the situation?
Not in my opinion, it doesn't.
No, it does not. No.
I mean, because it's an underlying issue, though. And,
yes.
And like I said, with tomfoolery, I've heard the stories, and anytime that I've gone, like I said, I've never had an issue, but I've heard the stories of other people having, an issue, whether it's with that manager or, with someone else. I understand that they're under new ownership as well. So, I've been going to tomfoolery off and on for years, since I was legal enough to get in and whatever. So, no, it doesn't fix the issue. It just, it puts a Band-Aid on it. It just basically stops that blood flow, but that's just about it, in hopes that it will calm the noise.
Yeah, I like that you said calm the noise, because what you're doing is you're taking gum and sticking it on the crack in the dam.
Exactly.
Now, Camila, you mentioned ownership this afternoon. I want this on record, and I'll as you as my witness, that I did call tomfooleries at 12 o'clock noon, and I requested to speak to the owner. The owner was there. However, the owner was in meetings. I left information for the owner to call me back, because I wanted to get the owner side of the situation in regards to all the discriminatory allegations and issues that are occurring in this restaurant. The young lady says she will take down my information. I did say that I was affiliated with this radio station, and that I would like to speak with him. I did not get correspondence back. However, you all are here listening that we did try to make the attempt. As a matter of fact, on Sunday early evening, I did go to tomfooleries before I posted that video, and I actually walked in to the restaurant looking for management, and no response. So we are doing everything on our end to be as fair as possible in regards to getting this issue resolved. Back to the issue about the manager being fired. You said you don't feel it's enough.
No.
I don't feel it's enough either, because it goes deeper than that.
Right.
This credit card issue, it's not applied, because when we were up there, it was after 9 o'clock.
I was going to say, because when I went, so I guess my question is, how long has this been in effect? Because when I went, we weren't told that.
Yeah.
You know, and this was, you know, a few months back, but yeah. So
yeah, I didn't see that. You know, I mean, I didn't experience it. We got our stuff up, you know, paid, and I paid when I got through. The parties next to us did too.
Yeah. So
but you know, like I said, you know, being a journalist, you do your research, and I found out that policy is not practiced like it should be amongst people. So they're choosing who to do this to.
Right.
Now, of course, you're saying, well, hold on, Tyrone, you black and she's black, but think about it though. We were a large group. Now, at our class reunion, the average ticket was about $75. I mean, we spent money in time foolish.
Right.
So of course, you know,
they're not gonna say anything.
Yeah, more than likely, because like we discussed earlier, what's the phrase you said before we came in here? No, yeah. I'm gonna put you on blast, but it makes sense.
I can't even remember now. Why would you do that?
you said that there's strength in the black.
It's strength in our dollars.
It's strength in the black dollar, of course.
You know, but we don't see that.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna continue, and I know we're gonna get to that, but the reality has been that we can huff and puff, and we still go spend our mighty dollar where we just got blown on ourselves. So yeah, I don't. How can I put it? It's just we just have that complex where we just say, you know, we're giving an apology, and then for us, for people of color anyway, we're just like, okay, that's fine, that's satisfactory enough. Because
see, we've been used to giving scraps.
That's true, but then the question is, where does it stop?
Exactly.
When do you become not used to? When is it not enough? You know,
you would think that it would take something like this, but some of us don't even get it.
You would think that it would take something like, you know, the police shootings. You would think that it would take something like, you know, the Caucasian individuals calling the police for no reason. You would think that that's when we would say, okay, enough is enough. But no, like a stubborn child, we continue to, you know, allow things like this to happen. Not trying to blame us, but
you know, I go.
You know, I kind of gotta say, you know, we.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you gotta get tired. Like a child eventually gets tired of getting that hand slap, right? So eventually we have to get tired of allowing things like this to happen. You know.
See, you know, I think it goes farther than stubborn. I think it's Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, definitely.
I'm in love with my tormentor. That's what it is.
Definitely.
Because you know
that's years in the making. That's generational.
It is. It was a design.
That's
a fine design because it still works.
Yes.
And this is what gets me. And I'm going to talk about this briefly, and then we're going to go back a little bit. What makes me upset is we have this plantation mentality. You know, I was told that, oh man, you saying too much. You saying too much. I'm like, what is saying too much? I said, someone guns down this black man in front of his child, and I'm saying too much.
They said the same thing about Malcolm and Elijah too.
Yeah,
you know, they're too militant. You know,
they
refuse to join forces.
Exactly.
You know, and look what happened.
Exactly.
You can't keep turning that other cheek.
Causing division. See, but then again, though, the whole turning the other cheek, they even looking at that wrong too. That's true. Yeah, you got to look at the original context in which you was. It didn't mean what you thought it meant. But you know, that'd be another show. But and also, I was told, someone said, well, why are you even making a fuss about this? I'm like,
why not?
Indirectly, people were telling me, you know, why am I pretty much speaking up on this issue? Well, first of all, I witnessed it, and second of all, I'm anti-oppression.
You experienced it,
yeah.
Too, so.
And like when I see stuff like that, oh no, that's like a bat signal going up for me. I've always been like that. You've always known that, and you know, I will not sit up here and allow something like that. See, and also when I looked at it, you saw the discrimination, and then I saw aggressiveness. I saw bulliness.
Yeah.
I saw this angry male within the period of a weekend went after 4 women. I'm like, he didn't try that stuff with them homeboys I was with. I've been on the patio, you know. But I mean, it's so many deep issues with this, and it's like okay, the guy's fired, it's over with now. No, it's not. And then someone said, well, someone was like, well, just don't go there. Just don't go there and excuse me, and spend your money. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. You shouldn't. All right, now you shouldn't just go there and spend your money because let's stay tuned. We'll talk about this shortly after this brief break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Like my merch will be done tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm still pushing that.
So for
It's really just deep.
we had 2 shares. Yeah. Well, see, I want to talk about we need to.
We gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing we.
See, I don't want to keep talking about the issue. What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Exactly.
There's a youth event coming up on the 25th. Like, because it starts with the youth too, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It starts with the youth because they are our legacy. And if we can't get them, then we've just lost. It's just a lost cause.
That's why Slick was so cold.
Man, it's a lost cause.
It was cold. I said go into it.
Hi, this is Dolores Jones, the co-host, inviting you to join me for my new radio show, Finally Free.
You know how that was going on, did you, Mr. Walker?
No, I haven't been to time food.
Probably won't be going either.
So join me Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m.
The food is not all that great anyway.
They need help. They weren't shut down.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. on KUAW.
All right, we are back. This is the Source of the Inkwell. I am your host, Tyrone Gathers Jr., joined with my co-host, Miss
Camila.
And we are on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. You can listen to this broadcast 2 different ways. Go to KUAW.org and click listen, or go to the TuneIn app on your cellular device, mobile device, type in KUAW, it will pop right up. If you want to actually see this broadcast, you can go to KUAW-LPFM 98.5 on Facebook or on YouTube. Type in KUAW Radio and we'll pop right up as well. You can email your comments, questions, and concerns at KUAW985@gmail.com, or please call us at 816-599-6893 during this broadcast or the other broadcast. Now, before we went on break, we were talking about the issue with discrimination in regards to the wrongful costs of police and how that's now affecting Kansas City. It's now taking a reservation in the restaurant known as Tomfoolery. See how I put those words together, play together?
Look at you. Okay. Okay.
So we had to get that out. All right. Now, and also I know it was advertised that we were going to have some guests, but out of respect for they're working with this issue and trying to resolve it legally. They need to go. They cannot be a part of this broadcast. Right. But we do plan on talking to them sometime later
in the
on.
Future, yeah.
Although they're not here physically to tell their story, we're still going to support them spiritually.
Definitely.
Now, before I went on break, I made the comment about the manager being fired and why that's not enough. And I tell you why that's not enough. Because when it is in your DNA to be a certain way, then what you got going on is genetic. It replicates.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the behavior that this manager showed, he's not the only one that shows that.
Not at all.
There are other employees in there that show behavior like that. And there are also other employees within that restaurant that realize that's going on and they want to get out, but they feel they have no other place to go.
Right.
So it's common knowledge. I mean, I was in there one time and I was told some misinformation by a hostess, and a waitress was like, "Well, no, that's not true. Let me get your order for you." So I was told I had to go and order my to-go order at the bar, and it was a manner in which it was good. I'm not saying it was discrimination or anything. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it was what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of miscommunication. And what was discrimination was the fact that the bartender saw me sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes and didn't say anything to me. Therefore, I walked out and went somewhere else.
Right.
So we're saying that there are a lot of issues going on within that restaurant that they need to deal with. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's a start with the manager being let go.
You have to start somewhere, but
that's not where you finish.
Right.
Where you start's not necessarily where you finish.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this question. The trending topic in regards to companies that I don't want to say mishandle, but misuse people of color, like Starbucks and police departments and things like that. The first thing people say is, "Oh, diversity training. We need to get diversity training." What do you think about diversity training? I mean, I got a flashback from back in the day when we were in college, and there was some it was an issue that went on, and like that little smirk that you did reminded me of that.
Listen, so I don't agree with it. First of all, here's my thing. You can't teach someone how to. I don't agree with it. Okay. I can't even get my words out. I don't agree with it. The main thing is that because the with Starbucks and with a lot of other companies, it's usually a person not of my color that is doing the diversity training. So it's one of those things like, well, how do you make that work?
Or they have someone that is your color to let you know that someone is not the oppressed color to come in and do the training. How can a dog tell a cat not to be scared of dogs?
Yeah, so I don't agree with it. Yeah. I mean, it's just so much, and this is probably like a whole nother show. Mm-hmm. I just don't agree with it.
Okay, I got you. Here's my take on diversity, and I'm sure I'm gonna lose some friends because it is what it is. But I need to be a friend to truth first.
Right.
Santa Claus. Why was Santa Claus created? To give kids a sense of hope that if you're a good boy and girl, you get a toy up under a tree.
I call it an illusion, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Tooth Fairy. Why does she exist?
Another illusion, but go ahead.
If you lay down at night with that tooth that came out up under the pillow, you wake up with a shiny cord up under it. Okay. I think diversity is our illusion. For example, these people hate you. They don't want you here. They try to kill you. They systematically set you up to fail. They poison your water, Flint. They tell you how to stand for a country that was built on your back.
Yeah.
And really, that was built on your back before it was stolen from you. But they say, well, this diversity thing will make the problem go away. No, every time I see someone put diversity in front of something, the problem is still there.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
You just made it. You just put a blanket over.
Yeah. Just like I've never seen Santa Claus and I've never seen a tooth fairy. I've never seen diversity.
Right.
Never. It does not exist.
Not at all.
It does not.
Agree. It doesn't.
And when I hear people talk about we need to be diverse, what does it look like? Can you tell me what it looks like?
What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? And to this day, as old as I am, no one has yet to give me a scientific definition of what diversity is. That's like someone saying fair. In my opinion, that doesn't exist either. Equality is what needs to be. Equability is what needs to be. So so pretty much when you say diversity training, you're putting that Band-Aid on that gunshot wound. You're giving false hope. It's like you saying, I remember the people that were the Hell Bob comment talking about the comment's gonna come and get them. Let's drink this Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That's what diversity
Yeah.
is. It's like you're drinking the Kool-Aid for this
Mhm.
false thing to come. Because when it all comes down to it, you got to go to the you got to scratch down to the issue. What's the root? Why do we have this issue?
Right.
Why do you hate me? Why do I hate you?
Right.
Why do you not want me here? Why do I not like you? That's what needs to take place. The day I see oppressor and oppressed sit down at the table and have that issue, that's when I buy in. I will not buy into diversity.
The thing though is that when you are the oppressor, you don't see anything wrong with what it is that you're doing.
She's preaching, y'all.
So that whole sitting down at the table deal is not going to work.
Unless
Or it won't even happen
Right.
for that matter, because you see no wrong with it. You know?
Yeah. So you made a good point. For example, we are all familiar with that movie Infinity War. Thanos is running around with these stones. See, the oppressor has the reality stone.
Mhm.
They shape, and when I say oppressor, I don't mean the white man.
Right.
I mean anybody can be the oppressor.
Right.
Okay, because as of right now, I'm seeing a whole lot of different shades of oppressors.
Right.
The oppressor will make it seem like everything's cool. There's no issue here. At the same time, while they're saying there's no issue, all kind of stuff is being designed in front of your
Yep.
face and behind your back
Exactly.
to destroy you.
That's true.
Whether it's with your religion, with your law, with your policy. But I love you. We cool. You live right next door to me. But the same thing in your house is not in my house. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that needs to take place.
So you say you think that needs to take place. So what's your plan? What's the plan? I should be asking.
I think with this is now, are you well? Okay, racism in general. I think people need to acknowledge that racism exists, because I remember someone once told me, they said one of the best tricks in the world, one of the best tricks the devil ever did was convince the world he didn't exist. Now, here's the thing: we got people that actually want to live in that pipe dream that racism don't exist, and I can't be racist because I got black friends, or I can't be racist because I accept white people for who they are, and I no. Racism does exist. Period.
Right.
Okay, we need to establish. We need to just call out the obvious elephant in the room. There are so many conversations that are had. I'm sorry, that are not had that need to be had.
Right, that's true.
Like I said, let's answer those whys. Sit down and talk about it. Don't sit up here and like for example, the key thing you said was the whole reality thing. We need as a
you say sit down and talk about it, but it goes back to what I said, as far as like the oppressor or whatever has to first admit it.
Right.
An alcoholic has to first admit.
Yes.
Right. A drug addict has to first admit it.
Mm-hmm.
So until that, until you say it, and until we actually admit that that racism is still here, racism is still alive, that conversation and that admit of guilt, so to speak, will not be had.
Yes.
Yes.
And I fully agree.
Again, what's your plan? What's your end game?
Well, the end game is, for example, we have all these brothers and sisters out here.
True.
Who see this stuff go on.
True.
When they see this stuff go on, they turn a blind eye, deaf ear, and a mute mouth, and paralyzed actions to this stuff. I mean, we got to get our camp together first. I mean, it starts with us. It starts with us.
True.
It does, because if you got 1 versus 100, I mean, come on. If I sat there and thought about all the times I ran into a burning building by myself, imagine what could happen if I had more people like us running up in that burning building.
So playing devil's advocate, because I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But playing devil's advocate, it's so many chiefs. Right, so we all think we have to be the leader of this united front, instead of some of us just kind of falling back and allowing those that are actually leaders to lead.
Okay.
So I mean, how can that be? I mean, how can we get that to?
I don't see any leaders. I don't see that many.
That's true.
And like the leaders I do see, I remember you mentioned Farrakhan.
I'm gonna mention him.
Yeah. See, people, they like to put it in your head that this man spews craziness. Now, I'm not saying no one's perfect. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that there are a lot of things that man has said and done to help situations.
Well, when you're speaking truth,
yeah,
you know, and people don't want to hear the truth.
Right.
They, gotta throw stones.
Yeah. Then, like, for example, like with Malcolm, and then we mentioned on the commercial break, we mentioned SNCC.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling my students, I said, who was the toughest civil rights group? And they were like, who? I said, kids, SNCC. They were so cold. Dr. King was telling them, nah, H. Rap Brown, I don't want y'all going down there. And like for the individual that said, what does protesting do? Those kids, I don't care if they did go down there and sit down and get hit with rocks and stones and stuff. What they did allowed a lot of what you're able to do today to happen because they were brave to stand in front of the fire and take those stones for you. That's why I respect people like that.
So what's our plan?
Well, first of all, our plan is to, like I said, we gotta acknowledge leadership,
right?
Respect the leadership,
right? Listen
to the leadership, and follow the same plan. I mean, who are the identifiable leaders? Like in this community, in the city of Kansas City, I can't verbally tell you who I think a strong leader. I see leaders of different sects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you do well with this group, you do well with that group, you do well with that group. I mean, that's the issue. We got so many people going this way, and this way, instead of coming together and going that way.
That's true.
I mean, I can't tell you any leader. Like there is one particular individual who I thought was probably that guy, but I'm like, whoa. I mean, I don't know. And then of course they like to people like to say that whenever there's a situation with racism, we all run to Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. No, that's not the case. I mean, really, in all actuality, they run to us. Right. But I mean, making that main way, it's another issue. But I mean, we need to establish identifiable leadership. See, now I feel like I'm your guest.
Right. So during the break, I mentioned about a youth summit coming up on the 25th.
Right.
And it is, hosted by a brother that I'm pretty cool with on Facebook. And, he's been sharing his posts and I've been sharing his posts and things like that whenever I'm on Facebook. But he had the same summit last year. And this kind of ties into what you're saying. Mm. And to me, and granted, it has to start somewhere, but this is a brother. He is with the Nation of Islam. Mm. This is a brother that was sharing his post and getting the word out. And we still did not have the support that we need. And this is at a time when, my brother got killed. I know some other people that, family members that got killed. I mean, we just had our youth were just dying left and right, and, that's why he did this, basically a call to arms. Hey, we got to get our community in check. But if he couldn't even get the support that he was due, for something to save our youth. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, it just ties back into what you were saying regarding getting our leadership in check. Everyone wants to be that man when it's not always meant for you to be the man.
Yeah.
So it bothers me to my core because we're not on the same page. It bothers me to my core that this young woman had to endure this type of treatment. Mm. And our men were in reading the post on her page on what she posted, our men were making excuses. It bothers me to my core to see that, so that's why I'm asking, like, so what's our plan? What's our game plan? What's our end game here?
Right. Yeah, and that's gonna take some definite brainstorming because you said something that struck a chord with me as well. I guarantee you there's probably some brothers there watching. They just sat there.
I guarantee it.
We need to also watch who we let speak for us too.
That is true.
Because you have some people, well, most of the time, whenever the situation happens in our community, you have someone that's speaking for us who they're just
isn't really for us.
And they're trying to make money off of us for a little 15 minutes of fame. And what breaks my heart is you have people saying, well, I ain't got no problem with it. Or
then if you don't have a problem with it, then I have a problem with you.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I have a 13-year-old son.
Yes. I
have a soon to be 18-year-old baby brother. Mm-hmm. I have brothers. I have nieces and nephews.
Yes.
At the end of the day, what I leave for them, or what you leave for your son is a legacy where we shouldn't be afraid to speak up for what's right. defend what's right, and go to bat for or kick butt on whatever is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean that's where our thought process should be. It shouldn't be, well, I don't have a power. It didn't happen to me, but it can happen to you. Eric Garner didn't happen to me.
Sure did.
Tamir Rice didn't happen to me, but at the end of the day, right, I still have my brothers that I'm fearful for, and I still have my son that I'm fearful for. We got to get out of that mentality where it didn't happen to me, because it can happen to you.
Well, no, it did happen, because that is your sister.
That is your sister. You're absolutely right.
That was your brother.
Right.
Yep. So it did happen to you. So those of you who are watching and say, well, making excuses and saying it wasn't me or I didn't do it. No, this did happen to you. What happened at that restaurant, what's been happening nationwide, is happening in your house and in your family. And the fact that you sit there and you keep your mouth shut, whether you black, white, Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter.
Right.
It's deplorable, and it makes you worse than the person doing the oppressive.
If you can't speak up for freedom, if you can't speak up for justice, if you can't speak up for equality, then the problem is you.
Yes.
You're just as big of a problem as the problem that we already had.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Because you are a false ally.
Exactly.
That is holding up progress.
Exactly.
You are the reason why that snowball is rolling down that hill, getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
You mentioned something about Thursday. We're not doing anything. Okay.
No.
I didn't know.
No. Thursday, you and I were supposed to go to KKFI, because I was going to introduce you to possibly get your own podcast set up. Yeah, you remember that. Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Lord,
it's okay. We'll reschedule.
I don't want to be on the radio.
See, a lot of people are liking your voice and they're liking the chemistry going on right here.
Whatever.
So no. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean you have a voice.
I live behind the camera.
Yeah,
sir.
It's all good. It's all good. But now I have a couple of I don't have. I got about a minute.
About 7 minutes.
No, I got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
I do want to thank all who watched the broadcast. I definitely want to thank Camila for coming in and being a guest host. Definitely love for you to come back.
Oh, I'll always do that for you.
Oh yeah,
especially when we talking about justice.
What needs to be talked about.
Yes.
And yes, and so okay, I'm in with that. Also, to our individuals who were discriminated against previously, whether it was this weekend or prior or now, we stand with you, and also we stand beside you. And if you need me to, I'll stand for you. This is a Source of the Inkwell, and we are family. We can't get things together if we are going our separate ways. We need to not talk about the situation, but be about the solution.
Absolutely right.
And on this show, we're going to breed being the solution. If there's ever a situation that you're feeling discriminated against, or you feel like you're not getting your just desserts, please let me know, and I will give you that voice so you can express yourself. I am Tyrone Gathers Jr., joined with
Camila.
And this is a Source of the Inkwell on KUAW, KC's global community radio station. And remember, in the Inkwell, education overflows. And just like ink, it spreads. And when it spreads, it's permanent. Let it stick. God bless. We will see you next week.
Good stuff. Yeah. Oof. Thank you, sir.